Hello, my friends. Do you believe that the most frightening stories are not of monsters, nor of witches, nor of evil spirits lurking in the dark, but of something far more terrifying, hidden deep within the human heart itself? Sit with me. Let the night surround you. And let me tell you of two hunter brothers in the Carpathian Mountains, where shadows lie not only in the forest, but in the soul of man. The summer wind swept across the mountain slopes, stirring the tall grasses until they rolled like a silver sea. The air was thick with pine resin, with the dampness of earth after rain. Somewhere, a crow's hoarse call broke the silence, an omen carried on black wings. On a narrow trail, known only to deer and hardened hunters, two men moved deeper into the woods. The one in front was Stefan, tall, broad-shouldered, strong as mountain rock. His steps were heavy but precise, as though he measured every distance with his eyes and weighed danger with each heartbeat. Behind him walked Luca, the younger brother, smaller in frame, silent as a cat, his eyes sharp, reading the forest like a book. The scratch of a thorn on reeds, a hoofprint pressed deep in mud, a thread of spider silk stretched across branches. They were opposites, and yet, together, they fit perfectly. Stefan, the hard; Luca, the subtle. Years before, in a winter that split the ice of rivers like swords breaking in two, their father had died. That same winter stole the fire from their hearth and tore tiles from the roof with howling winds. Since then, the brothers had lived side by side, hunting to survive, sharing each loaf of bread, each bundle of firewood with their poorest neighbours. The village of Kiralyret remembered them not for what they owned, but for what they gave. That morning, the sky was leaden, heavy, and the birds fell silent as if a stern master had entered a classroom. Near the stream of Lisa, Luca stopped. He bent low, staring at the mud, a track, huge, unnatural, so vast that a man could lay his hand inside and still have room to spare. "This is no ordinary wolf, Stefan," Luca murmured. The elder frowned, silent. Yet something flickered in his eyes. He too had heard the tales told by elders of the demon wolf, half beast, half demon, that had haunted these mountains for 1,000 years. They followed the tracks. Branches broken, wildflowers crushed, a strip of white silk snagged on thorns. The trail led to a cliff, and at its base, a cavern yawned, dark as a bottomless well. From within came the iron stench of blood, the rot of death, and strangely, the perfume of the city's fine ladies, sweetness lost in filth. Luca bent down and picked up a small silver glove. The brothers met eyes, then turned to face the cavern's black mouth. At that moment, the darkness stirred. Two green fires flared in the hollow, not flames, but eyes. Eyes cold, ancient, merciless. Heavy steps thudded, and the monster emerged. Its fur was black and slicks, oil. Its shoulders rose as high as a man's chest. Its breath steamed white in midsummer air, fangs long and glinting like steel. It was the demon wolf of whispered tales, the beast that had outlived 100 lifetimes of men. Stefan climbed a boulder, musket in hand, fixing a bone charm into a crack of wind. Luca slipped into ferns, setting an iron trap beneath moss. The beast bared its fangs, growling low, calm, terrifying. Then it leapt. Gunfire cracked. The bullet struck its shoulder, yet its swipe hurled Stefan against the rock wall. Luca darted forward, dagger flashing, driving steel into its flank. The trap snapped shut, biting into bone. The wolf howled, a sound half human, half beast, that froze the marrow of mountains. Luca seized a fire-heated spear, thrust it into the neck. Flame burst, flesh sizzled. The monster writhed, shrieked, and at last collapsed like a wall of shadow crumbling down. From within the cave came a muffled sobbing. Luca rushed in. A young woman was bound tight in thorny cords. Her gown was torn, yet her bearing noble. Hair golden as wheat spilled across her shoulders. Her voice trembled, yet was clear. I am Elise von Falkenheim, the Count's daughter. My horse was lost, and I was dragged here. Luca cut her bonds, leading her from darkness into noon light. News spread like wildfire. The demon wolf was slain. Falkenheim Castle opened its halls in a great feast. Red wine filled the cups, chandeliers blazed, violins swelled in waltz. The Count proclaimed a grand reward, even the hand of his only daughter to her saviour. Luca saw the glance his brother cast Elise, and the answering light in her eyes. Gentle, deep. He only smiled. Quietly, he yielded all credit to Stefan. That night, as music lingered in the great hall, Luca slipped beyond the castle gate, walked into the dark forest, and vanished without goodbye. The years that followed. Stefan lived as lord of the castle, softened by marriage, by wealth, by music and firelight. His beard was trimmed, his cloak was silk, servants bent softly at his passing, and nobles toasted in laughter. But elsewhere, beneath birch shadows, Luca's hut glowed warm. He lived as before, resetting traps, sharpening blades, mending boots with deer sinew. On market days, he traded hides for salt, flour, oil. Then, quietly, he left bundles of firewood at widows' doors, sacks of flour at cottages where children coughed, medicine for the old and frail. In taverns, people whispered. On winter nights, faint mandolin notes drifted through the snow, and at dawn, gifts appeared at poor doorsteps. One storm season, Luca found a fledgling under a pine, soaked and trembling. He brought it inside, warmed it by the hearth, fed it scraps. For 3 days, he kept it alive. On the 4th, a colossal shadow swept across the sky. A white eagle descended, majestic, radiant, eyes deep as valleys. You kept my child alive, the voice spoke, not by mouth, but straight into Luca's mind. I do not forget such debts. To the north, beyond the grey sea, there lies an island where pirates hoard their plunder. When the moon is crescent, they leave to hunt, and the treasure lies unguarded. I can carry you there and back. But remember, only one sack. The wind does not lift, the greedy Luca bowed his head. 1 sack is enough, he said softly. Enough for salt, flour, medicine, and dry wood. For many homes in winter. The eagle lowered its wings. Luca climbed upon its back, and the sky opened a road unseen. On the island, gold lay in heaps. Silver chains glittered. Chests of jewels towered. Luca filled but 1 sack, heavy, yet not too heavy for the eagle. Only this, he said, and they returned. From then, dawns brought quiet wonders. A sack of flour, a vial of medicine, cloth for children. Legends grew. But then came the year of drought. Crops withered, cattle grew thin, sickness spread. Even Falkenheim Castle dimmed, its feasts thinning, its candles burning low. One night, Stefan overheard servants whisper. The dark hunter left rice at Widow Conrad's door again. Someone swore they saw a white wing in the sky, so large they mistook it for cloud. Stefan's heart stirred. He followed the forgotten path into the forest. And there, he met Luca again. The brothers embraced after years apart. Stefan confessed, I have gone too far. You have walked the path meant for us both. Luca told him of the eagle, the island, the rule of 1 sack. Stefan listened, his eyes fractured between hope and hunger. Take me, he said. not for myself, but to save this land. The white eagle descended once more. Its golden eyes shone. The rule is the same, 1 sack each. The wind does not lift the greedy they flew. And on the island, Luca filled 1 sack, steady. Stefan filled 1, then another. His breath quickened. Coins spilled through his fingers like curses. "This is not greed," he said. "This is responsibility." And sack by sack, he piled them at the cave mouth, 10 in all. When pirates' oars slapped the water, Luca diverted them, setting fire to their boats, vanishing in smoke and panic. Stefan, meanwhile, dragged sack after sack up the slope to the eagle. "Fly!" he commanded. "Fly! Save us all!" But the eagle stood still. 10 sacks weighed heavy, and it knew balance had been broken. At last Luca returned, bruised, bloodied, but alive. The eagle lifted all 3, 2 men, 10 sacks of gold, into the stormy sky. Thunder cracked, rain lashed, the eagle groaned under the weight. "Drop the gold!" it thundered. Luca hurled sack after sack into the sea. 1, 2, 3. 9 sacks vanished into the waves. Only 1 remained, clutched by Stefan with white knuckles. "Brother!" Luca shouted over the storm. "Let it go!" Stefan's eyes were needles. "Only 1 sack!" "You don't understand, Luca. I have lived too long in light. I would rather die with gold than live with empty hands." The eagle roared. "Drop it, or the sea will take all 3. Luca gripped his brother's arm, pleading. "You still have me. I still have you. Gold is not you. Gold is not me. Let it go." For a heartbeat, Stefan closed his eyes, then whispered, "Forgive me, Luca. I cannot." And with that, he shoved his brother from the eagle's back. But before Luca struck the sea, the eagle plunged, twisted, and with a cry like shattering iron, it hurled Stefan and the last sack into the storm, 2 equal weights cast into the deep. Then, with its beak, it caught Luca's coat, lifting him from death, carrying him to a cold, safe shore. The eagle's eyes were sorrowful. "I told you," it said, voice softer than waves. "The wind never lifts the greedy. It lifts only the merciful." And then it vanished into the clouds. Luca lived on. No feasts, no waltzes, no marble halls. Only the ring of knife on whetstone, the snap of traps in the rain, the crackle of logs in the hearth. He lived quietly, not because there was no other path, but because it was the choice of one who had survived the storm and understood. What keeps you warm in winter is not silk nor gold, but the thought each night, "Today, I let no one go hungry." And the land remembered. In taverns, people told the tale. Some said Stefan became a great fish in the deep, clutching a stone of gold forever. Some swore that on stormy nights, a white wing flashed across the sky. Children, hearing the faint mandolin in winter, held their breath, lest they break the thread of song. And if, many years later, someone asked Luca if he regretted yielding glory to his brother, or casting 9 sacks of gold into the sea, he would smile as he smiled at the forest, slow and warm. "No one is richer," he would say, "than the one who knows enough." Then he would sharpen his blade, catching sunlight on its edge, ready for another winter, peaceful, honest, light as the breath of the woods.